All right, we're in the final round, so the weekend round, as it were, for the 9-hole cup with my 22 account, my low-level account. Made the weekend round. I actually had a pretty decent qualifier. I dropped one of the par 5 somewhere in here, like hole number 6 or something. I dropped one shot off of minimum score, but I did pick up, I think it was hole number 6. Is it hole number 6? Hole number 6 is the par 5. I dropped one off a minimum score. What up, baby?
I'm gonna run to the store.
Okay. All right. Wife's going to the store, so putting in an order. I did pick up a couple. I picked up hole number 1. I got the eagle on hole number 1, and it seemed like there was one other hole here. Hole number 5. That par 4, I picked that one up as well. So I think that mid par 4 we have to pick up. So we have to pick it up. So if you can, everything you pick up, if you can maintain the minimum score, is huge. Because I think like it'll probably be like a 16 at the top, but like you could put yourself in the hunt with a 14 or a 15, just depending on, like, let's see what we have ahead of us. They came in with a 14 as well. They came in with a 14. They must have had Albies. So we could be up there at the top. If I would have shot clean, I could have been a 15 just by picking up a couple. And those aren't the only shots out there where we can pick up something. I have notes from my upper developed account, so I know kind of the area as far as ball guide, like how much spin to put on it to get you to the area, because I don't have as much ball guide, so I can't see where it's coming out. We'll see if we can do half-assed. I was hoping to hook up with Dunner last night and play a pro, but that didn't happen. And by the time I remembered, it was like 11:45, and it was too late. Hole number 1. I don't need to practice it. All right. Do need to make sure I pick the right stuff here, though. I can change my bag from here, I think. I'm going to take a Titan, the king of balls. All right. I'm doing 0 plus 0.0 at club to the cup. Just whatever it is to the cup. Here we go. Four and a half topspin. Well, they say that's 5, so 3-3. It's 2.4, 2.6 per ring. So 3.3 divided by 2.6. 126. I'm gonna do 126. Isn't it perfect? El perfect. See how it rolls through there on the perfect. Now I didn't add on any wind there. I just did a straight up adjustment. Normally I'd add on like 10%, but it really sometimes feels like I'm too close on the right hand side. I didn't set the shot up to be that close, but right there it came through pretty nice. So maybe I don't need to add anything on the drive. It's way the hell downhill, so you should be adding something onto it. Maybe it's just these low winds in Ricky. It is way, way, way downhill. And that's got to be, if you set a pole up down there, that's got to be 8-10 feet. That dog might hunt. Still got a shot at it. All right, it's whatever it is, wherever I'm at in my club. And then there's Max. I'm at Max Runner. Max Runner is 2.4. So it's 3 divided by 2.4 is 1.25 rings. I'll put on a little bit of backspin. 2. Why? Because I have 2. And I'm going to put on maybe 1 and a little. 1.25 rings. Probably should turn my grid on. Hitting it perfect. See if I can get even close. Yeah, and that might not have been the setup. That might have just been how, because trying to extrapolate how it's going to roll out, it actually took a little bit of a jerk to the left right there on that one bounce. If it came out clean, it would have been more towards the cup, but the spin finally kicked in. Got somebody that checked out to see where they're at. They're in about mid-club. If you could, I would set that up so the first bounce was on the fringe. Sometimes you get a little bit cleaner bounce on the fringe. Especially if you can get away from the transition there. Sometimes you have to set your shot up on the transition between the surfaces. So like the transition between the putting surface and the fringe and the first cut of the fairway and then the first cut of the rough, those transitional areas, it's always good to kind of stay away from them, because not out on the course, but the way that the math works in the game, those are rounded, and so you can hit it and it'll actually pinch it up down on the bottom, and it can take a weird bounce where it slides out of it, or it dies, or it can be a weird deal. It can respond totally unpredictable. It's chaos. That's the chaos zone. We'll coin a new phrase, call it the chaos zone. It won't come up very often. Chaos isn't chaos is around us all the time, but that could be trouble. There was a period of time where it was worse than it is now. Now it very rarely ever happens, but we were on a course not too long ago that the cuts where it actually rolled up against it. It was so sharp that it rolled up against it. It was one of the ones that they patterned after a real golf course. Hole number 2. Hole number 2, my notes say Grizzly. Okay, in 22 it's half a top spin. Max right-hand side spin. And I don't think I put enough topspin on it. My notes for my big account is Grizzly Kingmaker, and I think I was using a bag with a Goliath, and I was using a Power 3 ball. Titan will work. And I was using 3 topspin, 1 left-hand side spin. Which way's the wind blowing? That wind works good for us. I got some practice tokens. Let's practice this hole once. Let's practice it one time. And my notes are plus 10 to the cup, 1.1 times whatever the wind is, divided by wherever I'm at in my club. And I don't have that written down. It must be at max because I'm bringing out a 3-power ball to push it up there. So I'm going to count it at max. Divided by max. Well, max Goliath would be like 3 per ring. What do I have here? Let me look at my Goliath real quick with a Power 3 ball. Got a level 4 Goliath. Let's go into long irons. Go to Goliath wind chart, and I got a level 4. Is that level 4 or level 5? Level 4 Goliath with a 3-power ball at max. It is 2.3. What do I have written down on my? It's a level 4. On my notes, I'm going to write 2.3. 2.3, 2.8. We know it's not the other way, but I'll write that down just in case. 3.5. And with a level 9, it is 2.7. It's 2.7. 2.1. 1.8. All right, I got some numbers written down for it. I have something. I have a game plan. What I really should do to make a really good game plan is turn my damn test grid on. The test pattern. Let's practice it once. We'll practice. Practice. Got a number 3 bag. Got a Goliath in that bag. I'm going to practice it one time. Practice it one time just to make sure. I got 10%. I think last time what I did was I did a half a top spin with maximum right hand side spin, and I should have did 3. I can't see where it's going, but with my upper developed club I can see where it's going. I think the other thing is, no, I think it's 3 topspin. 3 topspin and 1 left-hand side spin, and find the spot where that works. Take out the wind. Well, I got to be a max club, so it's got to be 2.3 per ring. Let's see if we can get a hole-in-one here. Maybe. See if my opponent can get one. They eyeballed the stuff, so I have no idea. They could. And that would have missed right on the outside edge, I think, if it had the legs. It wanted to roll to the right, but I don't know that it was going to. I'm right at max club, so it's 4.3. 4.3 divided by 2.3. 2.3 is 2.1 rings. It's 3 top spin, 1 left hand side spin. .1 rings. It's 2.05. I'm going to round it up and do close to 1. Isn't it perfect? Let's see if I can get even close to the hole. Distance is fine with that. Now it's all about trajectory. I can't see where I'm going. I try and give myself, usually on those types of, my spot will be a little different each time I play it, just depending on the wind, because you can change, you can play in front and work some wind out, so you don't have to involve the sand. You can play it on the side, and you can change your spin if you've got enough ball guide, so you can actually see what you're doing. You can just change it from one round to the next, but that doesn't help when you have a lower level account that doesn't have that ball guide. You can put that ball guide on there and try and find, like that should get you close. All right, I'm ready to play it. I'm ready. I know all of the stuff. Hole number 2. Let's get the hole-in-one this time. We got the speed right. I go first. Let's do the wind. 3.1, 1.5 rings. Do the spin. 1, 3. I need to come over just a little. I'll start right there. It's 1.5 rings. It gets washed out with that color. Hitting it perfect. Let's see if we can get in this time. Should be close. Should be close. Should be close. It was closer. It was closer. Had my speed right. So the topspin, the 3 topspin is going to be consistent from one spot to the next. If you're a little more on this side of this rough bump area, if you're on this side, you may have to change it up a little. But if you're up in the front, the 3 is going to be pretty close to right, but then it'll just depend on your side spin. Like if you have to move it over this side just a little bit in order to accommodate the wind, you'll have to change your spin a little bit in order to bring it back to that spot. That's why setting these up with like if you can set them up with a club that's got more than one. You may only need one, but if you're in one of those areas where you can adjust for the wind, you can accommodate it. You may need access to 2. So if you like just started off with a Katana or started off with a Titan. We were close though. Close. I gave myself a look at it. I think this par 5 right here, we have a serious opportunity for Albie. Serious opportunity. It seemed like one of these holes is pretty tough with low level stuff, but I think it's the one that I got the par on. But I was in the right spot. I had nobody to blame but myself. I put myself in a bad spot on the drive. That was fuck up number 1. And then I put myself in a bad spot on the second shot. I think I went for it. Instead of just recovering, which is what you do in that situation. You're not in the perfect spot. You get up there, you get minimum score, you move on to the next hole. You don't do any heroics. You do whatever it takes. You don't make a bad situation worse. And I did. All right, hole number 3. Let's see if we can get the Albie here. We want to come out of each section having picked something up. And this is my last opportunity on this first section. What is hole number 3? Hole number 3, the Desert Classic. And I think the hole that I screwed up on is a hole that I actually like playing. All right, this hole, I'm doing a backspin shot here. You can, normally with the old pin placement, there's a rough bump, but I'm not going to do the rough bump from this pin placement. The ball guide's appearing, disappearing. And it's you might get it to go in, and it may be way short, and it may be way long, and there's other ways to go. There's more ways than one to skin this cat. So if you come up in the front, you can do backspin. In my main account, I have my sniper, my main rookie account. My sniper's maxed out, so it has like 6 or 7 backspin. And I think the big dog has 4. And my Viper has less. And that's it. That's all I have available to me. So I'm going to have to play with a big dog. And hope that I can get... and I don't have any of those backspin boost balls. I don't have any. I don't think. Topspin boost. I don't have any backspin. I do have topspin boost balls. All right. Let me think here. Let me think about this hole. I'm gonna play it with my number 2 bag. I want to bring out. I might be able to play it with my quarterback. I'm going to try it with that bag first, and if that bag doesn't work, I'll switch to that bag. Power 3 ball. You got to make sure you get out there the right distance. I'm going to play it with a Titan. That should be good. Goodly. All of that rigmarole just to get ready to play one hole. With my upper developed account, this is a serious Albie hole, because just a little bit more stuff on my clubs and I can really go for it. I like the backspin shot here, and the deal is it doesn't need to be a max backspin. It can be like 1 or 2 bars short, and there's a spot down there that you can pull it back and get in that hollow, and it actually runs the tail out. It's rolling it down so much that it's just basically, if you've ever watched anybody play pull and they do a full backspin shot, it's spinning backwards the whole time as it's sliding forwards. My opponent nonchalantly ended up in the sand. I think you can recover from up there, but let's not do that. There's no reason to do that. I can't get up there far enough with that bag. I have to switch to my number 3 bag. And I can get up in the hollow just a little bit more. I like to be 2 rings off. 4-1. It's 2.4 per ring. So I'm going to do 1.5 is 1 3/4. What's max curl look like? Max curl. Hitting it perfect. The max curl was about as much curl as I wanted to use if I'd have had more. I wanted to make sure I left myself enough room on the right, so if I caught a grate to the right, I wouldn't roll into the rough. I want to get close to that sand, but I don't need to get right on the lip of that sand to make this shot work. We are shooting in the front of our shot, so if we had a big headwind day, we would want to get up there as close as we could to give ourselves as much room. But one of the things about bringing a big dog is that you can, the rings are big, so you don't have to do that big of a pull. Second shot, max backspin, nose side spin 1-to-1 plus 0.2. So I'm at max club plus 0.2. So the wind, max club. Max club 2.5, it's 2.7 divided by 2.5 plus 0.2, 1.3 rings. .3 rings. I'll push it out. There's the 0.3. There's 1.3. Hitting it perfect. Man, I thought I hit that one great. I needed to pull like 10%. There's a spot down there, I think, where I can get a little, if I had one more backspin, but I think there's still a spot down there where I can get a little bit more woe up. I don't want to, I actually am happy that I'm out on the fringe. It could be difficult with an account like this, but I have a Firefly at my disposal. But I'm not happy that I got that close to the sand. Not happy at all. I'm gonna be on the inside of that flagpole. Hitting it perfect. And it hit on the outside of the other side of it. I was trying to give myself a perfect and a grate on one side or the other from that distance, it still would have been inside the cup. So if my speed was right and I caught a grate to the right there, it would have went in. Wind had a little bit of a factor on it. You're up close, especially when you're in rookie and you're playing and you're up close. Do not aim off of aim inside the cup. I've been trying to do wind adjustments when we get a little further out and then zoom back around so you can see how far it's moving it, because those are the times when you are outside the cup and it's best to do it with your rings. And I'm not advocating that you should do your adjustments with your wedge like I do, but just trying to explain what it is I am doing. Sorry about that. Okay, wait a second. We're on hole number 4. Let's look at it before we just jump out there. All right. Hole number 4. I've got a Grizzly, a Nav. I want to bring whatever club's got the best ball guide. Whatever long iron has the best ball guide. I can't play this with a Navigator. A Nav. Whichever one of those 4 has the best ball guide. 2-9, 2-9. 2-9, 3-2. Grim Reaper. And it's got backspin, and I'm going to need, like, backspin. It's the winner so far. 3-2. 2-7. Hasn't gotten up yet. 2-9. Okay, so the 3-2 wins out. Now, I should be pretty close to max club. Well, I think I didn't write down how much where I was at in my club. I just wrote down plus 10%, so I'm not sure if I was at max or min. Let's practice this hole one time. Since I'm changing clubs, I'm making an audible, I'm changing clubs when we got the Nav. We'll go practice at one time. We'll see what the deal is. Hole number 4. Practicing. Let's make sure. Fucking practice. Like, this should be blaring on the screen in letters. Practice, practice, practice. Warning. You are entering the practice zone. If I can get an opponent. Here we go. Getting on Jamel Dunes 2. Hole number 4. 1-1 plus 2. Oh, no, I'm on this one, plus 10%. 1.1 times whatever the wind is, divided by wherever the hell I'm at in my club. I'm using a Grim Reaper with a power 3 ball, level 3. It's 2225. Close. Make sure we have our setup here. Let's find out where we're at. And here, there's max, there's min. So I'm at mid club. So mid Grim Reaper is 2.5. So it's 3.3 divided by 2.5 plus nothing. It's 1.5 rings. And I was using 5 backspin. 3, 4, 5 backspin. There's a sticky spot right there. 1, 4, 5. Hitting it perfect. Need to push it forward just a little bit more. I was being a little tentative there, but if I pushed it forward more where it hit, that's pretty freaking close. All right. We are ready to go. Plus 10 at mid club. Mid club. What is mid? Mid Grim Reaper is 2.5. I'm making notes here. And my mid Grizzly is at, what is my mid Grizzly? Mid Grizz is 1.1. 1.1. All right, I have some notes. I'm working on my notes for my main account. It'll help me out when I get there. I'll know where I'm at in my club. Hole number 4. We're playing that hole. We haven't played it. Here we go. All right, that was the practice. Now we get to go make it. All right. All right, I still got high hopes. No hope. I'm making it. I'm not bringing my putter out. I'm making this shot right now. I'm calling it. I'm pointing to the field. 4.4, 1.93 rings. And it was 5 backspin, no side spin. .93 rings. There's 193. Hitting it perfect. Get in the hole. Get in the hole, ball. Could get even closer and just put those bounces in the hole. I was up pretty close to it. It is gonna almost come to an immediate stop with 5 backspin on it, but close. The thing I don't like about putting that much spin on there is the first bounce. Spin doesn't take effect until it hits the ground the first time. So if it hits right where you're aiming, but if in this case you hit to the left where the sand's at, that first bounce, like how it comes out, it's not level ground down there. So if it comes out on the side of the hill where it's going to bounce to the left and then the side spin takes effect, it throws the ball to the left. It puts that sand into play. I was trying to do it with as little or no side spin if I could, which I was able to. With my upper developed account, I've got better ball guide, so I can see back farther, like where you need to hit to make that ball guide come through, because it is a little tricky down there. I should write down where I'm putting it, if I'm putting it on the fringe or on the... That's why it's important to watch the watch 77 play, because you can see what the spins are on some of those shots and replicate that spin, and you got to go find the spot. All right, hole number 5. Hole number 5. Hole number 5. Da 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 da. All right, we have to get this one. To get this one, no matter what. Like, if whatever I have in my bag that will help me get this hole, that's what I got to bring out. So power balls, like, what do I have? I have some of these. I bought them just for this. Top spin boost. We're gonna select one of those bad boys. We got a slight bit of headwind today, and I'm gonna bring out my number 1 bag. The rest of the shit's not gonna matter. If the rest of the shit, the only other club that could come into play is the wedge. So, and that's the way we want it. All right, I'm gonna play this hole first, and then I'm gonna take a short break. I feel like I need to get this. Do I get this hole off my chest now and then go to break happy, or do I hold the tension? I could take a break right here. They'll wait for me, I'm sure. I just tell them who I am, and they're like, yeah, no problem. Playdemic monitors my stuff, and if I want them to make changes like that, they just do it. That's the kind of pull I have. Now, if you're going to do the shot from the top, you might as well bring a big topper, because you got more top spin. You might have to bring out a little bit bigger. Man, I'll tell you, that being up there on the front like that is dangerous as hell, because it does roll over. And on the very lip down there, if you hit on the very lip, it'll make the ball go flat. See how that was a pretty flat bounce? They still got a lot of forward momentum, but that was a pretty flat bounce. If you hit up there on the top and you get it'll make its normal bounce forward. And however much side spin I can get on. 2, 3, it's 1 ring. I'm going to do 1 plus 0.2. I got to put on a little bit of overpower, not a lot, but a little. One ring great to the right will kill me. Unlike the second bounce, right here, I'm going to be so fucking close. I'm in it. It's not that bad. I know that for most of a Extra Miles life, it lives at 2.1. It's not that bad, but at 2.4, think about first bounce, you're 2.4 off. Second bounce, now you're fucking 2 rings off. Now you're almost 5 miles an hour off, which is huge. Which means that second bounce with like a club that's more accurate, if you hit it great to the left or the right, it can recover from it. It's like no big deal. 2 rings off is only 2 miles an hour. You can easily leave that much room. Okay, where am I at? There's max. There's mid. I'm in mid club. Usually the deal is that when that stuff's happening, you come up here and you put on a couple backspin and you get right up next to the cup. And it's 2.6 divided by 2.5. It's like 1.1 rings. Hitting it perfect. Woo! In the hole. We got to make that one. Jeez. Did I wait till the last freaking second to pull that out of the hat? I was trying to do, I know better that when you're trying to run topspin and you get into those areas where it's appearing and disappearing, you bag it immediately and just go to the backspin shot. And then I had to remember where I was at in club up there. I did a max number. I wasn't quite at max, but I did max. And I added on 0.05 of a ring. And got lucky and it went in. Can't be good, be lucky. Can't be good, be lucky. It's today's sponsor, Titan, the king of balls. Hole number 6. Hole number 6. Let's look at it, and then I'm going to take a quick break, and I can sit here and stare at it while I'm all right, we have several ways that we can go. I think what I did on this in the front was I was dicking around. I think this is the hole I was dicking around on, and I ended up in the backside in trouble and missed the chip on. I think this was the hole. I was in a decent spot out here. I was trying to do the rough bump. I should practice this hole because I think there was some kind of issue on the second shot down here. I was trying to do the rough bump, so I laid it up like right here. If you really want the best angle at the rough bump on this pin configuration, damn it, hold on. There we go. I had to get my pin in the right configuration so I could grab it. It was up there at the top, and when I went to go grab it, I was grabbing the other overlay. There were some, if you're going to take this shot off of this rough, if we draw a line through the green area here, you really want to be somewhere in this patch to have the best angle at that rough bump. And up here in the front is better because distance to the hole, when we start talking about arc, our arc's kind of like this. So if you're out here, you're already pushing the red line on a headwind day. You might find yourself in a little bit of trouble. And if you don't hit it out quite far enough out there and you've got just like a 3-power ball, you might find yourself not far enough to get into the red line. So if you're going to hit it back here, you need to bring out a big ball. And even then, I'm not sure what the look is because this is quite a long ways out on this course. If you hit it in front of this, you kind of take the rough bump out of play for this pin, but you can come in front and then go at it. And that's a pretty decent shot right there. You could do it with a sniper or anything because you picked up more distance here, so your red line is going to be, you should have enough room to work it. Or you can try and go all the way to the end. I tried to just lay up right here. I demoed the layup shot here, and then you can come at it like this and just get up here and get in the hole. And I've done this shot I don't know how many times, and I totally tanked it, and I think I ended up in the rough or something on the backside. I blew it completely. But I think the way to go is right here. I'll practice this when I get back. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I think we need to practice this hole one time. Just once. Just one time. I don't know that I need to bring out anything special more than just a power 3 ball. Just we'll see which way the wind's blowing, but just in case that wind works well for us, we can get out there as far as we can with a Titan. But I'm not sure that we need to get that getting out there a long ways is actually the deal. There's a spot that we need to get to, not just putting it out there and trying to get as much distance as we can. There's an actual spot that if we hit that spot, and I don't know if it's, I'm just picking numbers out of the thin air, 360 to 365, or there'll be some area out there that if you're in that range, that's the best. And I don't know what that is. I don't have it written down, but those are key numbers to write down when you're taking your notes. This is why it's so important to record, because there's so much shit that you'd really like to have for your notes, like how much spin did I use, or what was the wind, or did I pull back? I pulled back from the red line to the +4 mark to set that shot up, and then you can do that every time and speed up the wheel for the 30 seconds. So you won't be like me where you're down to the very last second every time, every single time. It's amazing that I don't time out more. And I don't think that there's any issues at all using a power 3 or 2 ball, but I think on the second shot there could be a red line issue. Now, it may be beneficial if you got upper developed stuff. It might be beneficial if you can bring out a lower power ball. Practice. I'm going to make sure it says practice up there. I'm going to do it with 4 divided by 2.4. 1.66 rings. Now I'm gonna leave the power out and just try and put it out there. Isn't it perfect? Get right down toward the end of that sand trap. 356. 356. What hole is this? This is hole number 6. Hole number 6. Mr. Mountain Sniper, I was 1-to-1. I'm not sure what I was doing to the cup. I have something written here, but for some reason it got scribbled. Viper, I meant to bring my big dog because it would have hit up here, but even with the big dog, I would have been better off with the big dog trying to do, but I would have been stuck with the rough bump. Three, 2, Vipers 2 per ring. Do 3/4 of a ring, 0.8. Hitting it perfect. Hitting it perfecto. Okay, I brought the wrong club. Let's exit that out. I brought the wrong bag. So hole number 6. I need to bring that bag right there with the big dog. The big dog. And I needed to get maybe a little bit farther than where I got. And I don't really want to waste any of those. Those balls put me too far. What wouldn't be bad is one of these. A 4-power ball. That'll help me on the second shot. And I do have, and I think I can play that same exact deal and just take the wind out. Alright, let's play it. I'm ready. I got the right bag and the right ball this time. Hole number 6. I really don't know what my notes say. I have a particular, it's usually pretty easy to read my writing, but I scribbled something here. It might be +10 to the cup or -10 to the cup. Let's think if that's a -10 or a +10. Okay, I'm a little bit farther forward. My red line's a little farther forward because I used a 4-power ball. So I will get a little bit more distance. 2.6. It's 2.4 per ring, so I'm going to do that much. Hitting it perfect. Just try and float it up down to the end. That changing ball got me all the way past, almost to the zone where I'm too far. I'm actually flirting with that. I'm right at the very end. We'll see. I think you can be, if you're on that very sharp edge over there, you're on the, you can't really go, you don't want to go any farther. I'm not sure it's as big a deal if you've got a ball that's got a lot of side spin. Okay, my notes say 1-to-1, so I was at max club. Man, I know in the past this is a right there. Is it 2.1? 2.1 divided by max. Big dog. The big dog is 2.5. I'm just going to do a straight up 0.9 rings. It was 0.84 and I rounded up. Oh, and I still hit it great. With a fucking precision 7500 ball. I was hesitant on the topspin. I didn't have it written down here on how much topspin I used with my sniper. If you get to the right angle out there, you can... I don't know what it is, but the sniper ball guide is enough. I think that's the whole deal, is it has just that little bit more ball guide so that you can walk it that far down that hill. Because you cannot see it with the big dog or the Cataclysm. Those are key numbers for me to write down on my notes so that I have them for the lower level account. Here we go. All right. We're in the final three. I don't think we picked... Did I pick anything up in that? I don't even know where I'm at as far as score. I don't usually pay attention, really, to be honest with you. I try and play it one hole at a time, and I try not to let bad shit happen. Sometimes it does hang over to another hole, but usually you got to let it go because it's so easy to get into a thing where you have a bad hole and then you have a bad hole. Or you have a hole that you had to recover, and then you get into a spot of bother. So just forget about it and just play it one hole at a time, one shot at a time. Hole number 7. What is hole number 7? Let's make a pact that we're just going to pick up something on all 3 of these holes. Hole number 7. Is this really hole number 7? All right. It seemed like here. Okay, so. Hole number 7, I was using I'm doing the same exact shot that I was doing with my other account, which was the wind blowing. Now that wind is problematic, but it won't be a problem. I'm gonna use a Goliath. Whichever bag's got a Goliath in it. Which one of these clubs has? Oh man, the Grim Reaper's got a little better ball guide. I know that 3.2 doesn't act like it makes a difference. I'm going to use my Goliath. I feel confident in the shot. 2.5 topspin, or 2 topspin, 1 left-hand side spin. Plus 20 plus 0.1. So it's 1.2 times whatever the wind is, divided by 2.3 plus 0.1. Goliath. And with my Goliath, I got a Goliath 4. I don't know that I don't know. Let me make sure that I got the right numbers written down. Goliath 4, 2.5, 3.0, 3.7. Is that right? Goliath 4, 28 accurate. Two 5, 3 0, 3. What in the hell is the deal here? Let's see here. 2 4. 2936. I was trying to figure out, I've got a number written down on my sheet, and I was trying to figure out how the hell I arrived at that number. Looked like I was at maybe a quarter club. But I have a level 5. Right? I have a level 5 Goliath. Oh, I have a level 4. What was I thinking? Have a level 4. Alright. Level 1 Powerball, it's 2.4. 2.4. 2.9. 3.6. That would be 7. Half of that would be 3.5. Almost 4. 3. I really do not know how I came up with that number. Goliath, level 4. And I don't need that ball. I do need a Quasar, though. I can pick that out here. Quasar. Alright. I'm going to practice this once because this is definitely a hole where you can get your lunch ate if you make a bad pull. 2.4, 2.9, 3.6. See where I'm at. See where I am. Get those numbers locked in. If I can get an opponent. Welcome mods. Modes. Okay, there's man. There's max. There's man. There's max. There's mid. So I'm in between mid and max. So my notes say 2 top spin, 1 left hand side spin. I got wedged up 4.8. I'm at mid divided by mid club, which is 2.9. 2.1 rings. Oh, and I hit it great to the right. Came in great to the right. I think I am ready. Hello?
Hey, if you let me into the garage door, I don't have my key for it.
Okay.
Thank you.
I will. Hey, let's go for a walk. The big walk. Just practicing. Yes. Are we just practicing? We are. Let's make sure. Let's not miss the putt. It does say practice right there. Close.
Good.
Oh. I thought that you meant the garage door. All right, we've walked around half the house, almost. It's a draw. All right, we get to play it now. Let's play it. I think I've got this figured out. All right, I'm back. I'm back. Hole number 7. All right. All right, all I gotta do is plug in the wind and line it up. I am really wedged in there. And it is like one ring. You definitely did not want to hit to the left. It's 3.7, 1.63 rings is 2 and 1. .63 rings. There's 1, 6, 3 exactly. Isn't it perfect? Have the legs. Have some legs. Have some legs. Close. Close. Where are those square cups when you need them? Arrgh. Close. And I did +1 on it, but I don't know. The deal there is that I don't know that I was going, like I could have, my ball guide, if you straightened it out, I could have been on that edge of the cup. I have no idea where it was coming out. Just knowing the spin, like they've got 2 on there, but you can see, like, look at their ball guide. They've only got 3/4 spin on it so that they can stick right to the cup. So close. Close. Isn't it perfect? Get in the hole. Get in. Get in. And they had perfect speed as well. And that was with +20 to the cup. +20, +0.1. +0.2 would have been better, but that is that close. All right, hole number 8. We got a great opportunity on all these par 4s, and I think this is a harder of the par 4s. It's not the easiest, but not the hardest. The question is, which way to go? Let's see which way the wind's blowing. Okay, what kind of track am I on? I have not been paying attention, so let's see what I haven't picked up shit. I picked up 1 shot, so just minimum score here is 3, so that puts me at 13. That's I need to pick up something. Hole number 8 might be my key opportunity here. Let's see which way the wind is blowing. That wind's not helping or hurting us. Let's practice this hole one time. I want to look at it. I want to see what that wind looks like. There's a shot that you can do, a layup shot that you can do up there, and then go at it with a sniper or your wood. In this case, I'd be using a Viper, and it's just a couple of backspin, so you're right at minimum club. And minimum club is going to be the same for a Viper as it is for a sniper. So you're going to be in the same club, and it's just like a little bit of backspin, so you could do it with a Viper. That's probably the way to play. I think on the front, that's exactly how I played this hole. Is I played to the left and I just laid it up. But there is the opportunity to try and get up into even with a power 5 ball, I can't get up there without some help. And there is a little teeny bit of help, and I don't need a lot to try and bounce it over that, but I don't have enough oomph to get it over. I'd have to bring out one of these balls. Something that's got some top spin to get me in front of that. It'd have to be the this one. This one's got 4 topspin boost. That's pretty iffy. That's pretty iffy. Pretty iffy. It would be, there is a little teeny bit of wind blowing in a forward direction with this angle. This angle is on this plane. So you could catch this very bottom trough of this fairway where it's the deepest. But there's a very small window down there. So like it, with this club, the accuracy of it, I'm not sure you could catch a one ring great to the left or the right and still catch that fairway just a little bit. You do have a shot from down there, and you can pretty easily get to that area. You could come up here if you had a big topper, and you could just try and run it out and just run it up to that area where they're at. The other way to go at it is to come at it out here. And I think this was with a, I'm not so sure you weren't doing it with a katana. Four, 5. I'm going to do 2 rings. That's 4, 8. And just pop it up out into that area right there. I'm not sure that the katana is the right ball. It may have to be a 3-power ball. Well, this will pull the red line back, so I will have a bigger, I may be in mid club instead of min. Be the Viper. The Viper. And I think it's just wherever I'm at in my club. Plus 0.1. I think that's where it was. Maybe. That's what we're going to do. So that's what we got. That's how we got it. I'm at minimum Viper. Which works good with today's wind. Couple backspin. .8 divided by minimum Viper. 2.2. 1.27 rings. If I add on 1, that'd be 13714. Exactly. And I hit it great to the left. Exactly. That would have been super close. And with the Viper. And that was 2 topspin on the drive. I think Dunner was doing it with no topspin, but I think he had a bigger hitting club. Too bad. Man, shit. Just picking up 2. I'm in 46th right now. That 2's not going to get me. Fuck it. Is that going to barely get me in the top 20? If I could get it. Well, I got 8 and 9. Okay. All right. So 13. I do have a little bit of room to work. All right. We're playing that hole now. Is that the deal? All right. I think that's the shit right there. Just lay it up over there, not go for it, and do a straight up shot to the cup. Minimum Viper. go first? I think it was like 2 and 2. Four, 3. It's 2.4. I'm gonna do 2 rings. That's 4, 8. Hitting it perfect. El Perfecto. El Perfecto. All right. Right up there on the corner. Nice flat shot. The wind divided by 2.2. Hit perfect. Go in the hole. 2 or 3 backspin. Probably 2. It rolled out pretty good last time, just off trajectory, and I think I used 3 backspin. But if you had ball guide, 2 would be usually, like, I'd like it where you can put it at 2 backspin. That little teeny bit of wind might carry them forward. They're only like a ring away from being into the stuff. Let's see how much extra it carries it. And that's the worst side to hit a grate on. It's narrower on that side. Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like to me, is that there was going to actually, that little teeny bit of forward wind was going to carry them. Don't ever pinch yourself up down at the bottom. I'm always going to be the fan of 2 rings of separation. I know, like, that might be like a broken record, but that shit works. .9. It's 1.77 rings. There's 1.5. There's 1.75. There's 1.77. Hitting it perfect. Hit it perfect this time. Now we're going to get to see. We'll get to see. Oh, I forgot to do the plus .1. I did. And that would have made a difference. I came through there with a little bit of speed, and it probably would have rolled over the cup. It would have been right there, but that would have made a difference. Damn it. I have my equation sitting right here. Why didn't I have that on there? Plus .1. Yeah, that would have been 1.9 instead of 1.77. Damn it. Fucking rookies. On the fairway. Take my putt. And move along to the next hole. All right, I didn't pick anything up. I didn't drop anything. It wasn't a win, but it wasn't a loss. I'm still in the war. I now have to shoot a minus 14 on the last hole in order to have any shot at it, but I could pick up an Albie. That's not going to help me really in the long run, but I could get an Albie and it could steal a couple spots. It is possible. Good luck in the tournament. Good game. Desert Classic. Classique. So I could get a 13. I'm in 40th right now, so a 13. Shit, is that going to put me maybe in the top 15th place, 16th place, depending on tiebreakers coming in? Shit. Hole number 9. What is hole number 9? What are my Albie opportunities here? There's 2 schools of thought on this. Yesterday, let's see which way the wind's blowing. That might change our religion. All right. I gotta do the. So yesterday, what I did was I came out And I brought out one of those topspin boost balls, a 5-power topspin boost ball with these clubs with the 4 topspin that I have, or 5. It's got 50 topspins, 4.5 bars. I was able to rough bump my way out of here and end up right here so that I had this shot. And it was actually a really decent shot, almost level. Like you got a hump between you, but it's not too bad. The other way to go at it is to lay it up right here, which doesn't take a lot of effort, but it is a little riskier. They both have risk involved. Here you got to get through the rough in order to get the shot, and here you got to stick before you roll off the end of this and you end up in the rough. So and here you do have, depending on the club, there is a rough bump that you can do from down in this area. I'm not sure with this tee if you got it, but you do have a little bit of room to maneuver. And as far as arc goes, they're both about the same. I'm gonna practice it over here just to see what it looks like, because you gotta put some effort. You don't, in one-on-one I lay it up here with a marlin and you can get a shot out so you can get your eagle, but you really have no shot at Albie. You're just trying to get up there to get an eagle and move along a little doggy. So you either need to get over here or up here, and I think up here is probably shit. You could probably do that with a katana. Maybe I'm gonna bring a Titan just to be safe. I should be able to play this with that bag. Alright, hold on one second. Alright, let's practice at one time. We got to get an Albie here. So I'll give myself at least a good look at it. See where I'm going to be. Really don't think the shot to the left is it's not a consistent deal, but like I can put it in a pretty decent spot up there at the top of that hill right here as opposed to there. With my upper developed clubs and a big ball, you can get way in the hell up there. You can get into minimum short iron, maximum wedge range. You got a serious ass shot at it. I have not hit perfect on the second shot in the 2 times that I was up there. So I have no idea what it looks like to get the Albie from up there, but it was definitely gettable. Yeah, see, this is actually, with the curl that this club has, like trying to get up into a spot up there, because it doesn't have a lot of curl. So if you want to give yourself some room for maneuver, you almost really need to bring out a 3 side spin ball so that you can get the side spin. Maybe just 3 top spin. Otherwise you'd have to bring out something really big. Let's see what a quarterback would do in this situation. Actually, I like that a lot better. I like to take these shots usually. Whenever I'm doing max curl, I usually like to give myself 3 rings of separation, because a grade on the inside can be a really bad deal on the second bounce. So like where you're at, because you hit on the inside with that much curl. So I like to give myself a lot of room. But in that situation right there, because I don't think that this quarterback's got 100 curl, or even, it's probably got like 70 at the most. If I give myself 3, I'm not sure I have enough curl to bring me back into the fairway, and I clip the rough right out here. Now you can go for it like my opponent's doing, and if you get into the right spot down there, you got a really decent shot. The problem is that you may or may not end up in the right spot, and that shit right there happens, and you can recover from there. But the whole deal is, this is a really good hole to try and get an Albie on. Max, go all the way up against the red line, 2 rings off, 3.2. My quarterback is 1.1 per ring, so I'm going to just do 3 rings. And I'm going to push that forward power back on. Max curl. Hitting it perfect. And it should just bleed out there now. And now it's all about a question of whether or not it's too long. And I didn't have a lot of topspin on that, so it's almost impossible as long as you can make it around the bend. Right there, that opens up from that spot. You're in a perfect thing for this rough bump. Perfect. And I don't know how much topspin it takes from there, but shit, it would have to be a lot. From where I was sitting on the other side, I was in my Kingfisher and I was at minimum club. 2.1 per ring, that's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. At club plus 0.1. At club plus 0.1. I have no idea what my shot's going to look like from up here. No idea. So it's 2.6 divided by, there's max, there's min. I'm at minimum club, minimum Viper. Minimum Viper is 2.2 divided by 2.2. If I don't do anything, plus 0.1, it'd be 1.3 rings. And I have no idea. I don't have enough topspin with the Viper. I'd have to bring out my big dog in order to see where that's going to go. But let's see if the wind adjustment's right. It's 1.3 rings. There's 1, 3. Isn't it perfect? Yeah, that's a job for the big dog right there. I was just making sure that I was in practice here. Practice. I need to flash the shit on the screen though. Come on, your customers. We just help us out. We're really focused on your game. We want to get better and we're not paying attention. And I know that you put it on there, but flash it on the screen. Not while we're out on the course playing, but when we go in between, that this is practice, 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 practice. All right, we got a game plan here, and I need to switch that bag up. Let's see if I have a quarterback bag, quarterback big dog right there. All right, and my big dog, where is my big dog? Big dog is 3 point, I was in minimum club. I was in minimum club, so it's 3.3 per ring. 3.3. Let's check out the Big Dog 5 just to make sure the numbers are good. What kind of ball was I using? Wasn't even paying attention. The Kingmaker. The Big Dog 5 with a power 3 ball. Big Dog. Big Dog 5 with a power 3 ball at minimum club. It's 3.1 per ring. Maybe make a note here. Big Dog, power 3. 3.1. Mid is 2.7. And max is 2.4. All right. I put that on my notes just for the time when I use this club in a tournament. If I'm using a power 3 ball, I have numbers for the power 3 ball, which are slightly different. Sometimes you can use just the base numbers. If you use the base numbers and you just work your percentages off of those, then you should be fine. I'll do the 3-3, 3-1. I'm kind of difference would that make in the math? 3.1 would be 0.83 of a ring. 3.3 would be 0.78. Not much. Adding on 1 plus 0.1. All right, are we ready? I am ready. A shot to the cup. Plus 0.1. I'm going to use the numbers that I've been using so far. I'm sure the last time I used it 3.3. Here we go. What is my quarterback? It's 1.1 a ring. My opponent's trying to get down to the bottom. It's a thing of beauty if you get down there. But you have no control over your ball at the end of the run. So they got lucky that they got the shot that I'm actually trying to get. Straight up, you can do a rough bump right there in that alley. You're right at it. I had everything on it. All the massive stuff. At the red line. 2 rings off at the red line. Take the wind out. 2-2, that leaves me 6, so it's like 2.5 rings. I think I put the wind back in. I was able to put the wind back in. Max curl. No overpower. And I hit it great on the outside. Entering great to the left. It just takes the risk, and when it gets to the end, if it catches the hill, it'll roll off, but I don't think I'm getting out there far enough for that to happen. You can see how fast it rolls off right there, but I don't have enough topspin to get me in trouble. If you have enough topspin to get out into this area right here and you hit it perfect, it's perfect. But if you hit it great to the left, now you run out of perfect. And great to the right, you're usually okay. It is just the win. I'm playing at club plus 0.1. And I should be at minimum club. I should be. I have no idea how much spin to put on there. So we're gonna put like 5, maybe all of it. Maybe all of it and a couple this way. Three 3.1, 1.03 rings, 1.1 rings. One. Hitting it perfect. Now it's all about whether I put on too much topspin and it jets past it. It didn't catch the break. I put on too much topspin, so like 1 less topspin and it would have been like super, it would have came in there a lot slower, and then it would have caught that break and just rolled out to the cup. With my upper developed clubs, that shot right there is the deal, but you can tell how much topspin I put on. I think I was taking that shot with a Goliath instead of a Grizzly, because on days like this where the wind, you could work out the wind in a ring and never have to involve the sand. That's crazy. It's crazy talk. I'm in a weird ass spot right here. That was a weird spot. I was up pretty close and it was still wanting to do the jiggy thing between going really, really fast and long and not doing the backspin. All right, where did I end up? Where did I end up? Wow, I'm in the top 20. I'm thinking it's got to be 16 at the top, maybe a 17. 15's dominating the top 10 is what I think. 14 starts at 11th. 15 starts in 3rd. Wow. We got 4 people up above. So 2nd maybe tied. 3rd's tied. 1st and 2nd. 15's at the top. I was very capable of shooting a 15 in this. I left a couple right there on a couple shots and just missed it. But not too shabby with this account. If I can eke out, what I'm really shooting for with this account is top 10s. Like, you know, making the top 10. So the cut here, like getting a 14. I came in with a pretty decent qualifier with a 14. So like looking at the 14s, the top 14 came in with a 15. Down to 9th place. They came in with a 12. So right there, you're in the top 10 just by picking up a shot that I dropped on the minimum score on the front. Actually, I didn't pick up one of the minimum score holes, and that screwed me. That's how important minimum score is. Everybody, you can poo-poo it off because the scores are so high. You have to pick up a lot of holes, but you have to remember all of those picking holes up are based on a foundation of shooting the minimum score. And if you drop one off the minimum score, that's like if you don't pick up the eagle you were hoping to get, that's one thing. But dropping one off the minimum score is a horse of a different color, as they say in the business. Thanks for watching. That was the final round. We'll see how that holds up with this account. Like any prizes like this, because it's what's really frustrating in this account so far is I haven't played a shit ton of games, but I've won not having a big topper, a Horizon, or the Kingfisher. And what's screwy about it is that when I get the big topper at the 205, it hits the same as the quarterback. So if there's shots where the quarterback could work, the big topper might work better with the top spin, even though it doesn't have ball guide. But if I keep dicking around and not getting these clubs, I'll have to get them to the next level or a couple levels higher before they get back into the hunt because they came on too late. I don't think that'll be a big fear with the Kingfisher, although I need to get the Kingfisher up to like level 3. I need to get it open and get it working so that it gets to level 3, and then I will use the Kingfisher for a long, long time. As soon as it gets its, I think it's at level 2 or 3 that it picks up. The Horizon, I played the first time that I ever played the game. I played with Horizon a lot. I mean, it had distance. The accuracy at this point, you're having to learn how to use the wind ring method. So what does it matter if the club's 3 miles an hour or if it's 2? You do the math and pull the rings and it works out. And it has lots of topspin and it has lots of ball guide. And coming into some of these holes, especially from distance, if you leave yourself short, I got this club right off the bat the first time I played through. But not having it here like this, by the time I get it, even after just 120 wins, it'll take it a few levels before it gets back into the hunt. Rat bastards, making me work for it. Thanks for watching. That was we've got another tournament. Of course, we have another tournament, the Pacific Cup. What cracks me up is Century Harbor. I'm not sure where Century Harbor is, but like the Pacific. Are we talking Asia Pacific or North Pacific Northwest, or like what part of the Pacific are we talking about? At my house, it would have been the red. This would have been the sequoia holes. It seems like we just played Century Harbor not too long ago, and I can't remember. I can't remember, so I'll have to go pull those up and go look at them. Thanks for watching. Have a great week, and I will catch you on the next one. If you're not a subscriber, hit subscribe, hit the like button. If you got new people in your clan and they're looking for stuff, just to help, like doing the thing, you can lead them to my videos. I appreciate it. Leave a comment, and I will see you on the next one.